Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Derptopia SMP. My name is Fiasco. Thank you so much for joining me. Today we're just starting off in my little entryway here so I can show you a few things that have changed. I'm just trying out a few resource packs that change a few things for me. So my Elytra Wings are going to look a little bit different. They just look like they've got kind of like a dragon wing texture now. Let's put those back on. I also, have changed my slime blocks to be blue instead of green. Look how cute those are. I don't know if these changes are going to stay or not, but I really like them for now. I think that just adds a little bit of fun and difference to the game without changing too much. Now, I have the opportunity to download a bunch of things that would enhance the terrain, like change the grass, the leaves, a lot of different things that would change the look of how things are out here. But I didn't want to do that because I like people to see things in pure vanilla experience. No resource packs, no shaders, nothing like that. Because anything that I build that you like, I want you to also be able to build the exact same way if you want to. I don't like, well, I mean, I do like watching people with shaders on because it's an enjoyable way to see things, but when I'm trying to emulate something that someone is doing, it can be a little frustrating because I don't know what it's actually going to look like when it's done. Another thing I changed is my spyglasses also now look like actual copper and amethyst. A very small change, but kind of a cool one. So yeah, very small aesthetic changes that I've made so far. I think I'll keep those ones. They're pretty cool. Maybe we'll change the slime color for fun a little bit later on. But if you're wondering why those things have changed, that's the explanation. Another thing that's changed is this place. I have been doing a little bit of landscaping and decorating, and this just really, I love this. I love this so much. Not that I'm tooting my own horn here, you know, like not this specifically, but the act of doing this is just relaxing and fun. A few other things that have changed around here. I added in some custom trees, 1, 2, and also I never really gave a full explanation that the tree was done in the last video, but our Calamitry is done. Finally, this took a very long time. Another thing to get you caught up on is this wacky little thing over here. Now, this I did also show in the video, but didn't really explain it all that well. This is our foundry, and I'm going to be replacing this bridge. I'm not super happy with it. Now, the explanation for this is a machine that moves around from ravine to ravine, and this unit right here is where the workers go. So they go in here and they use these pipes to harvest the power of the lava down below. So down below here, oh, actually, are you kidding me? I didn't bring a single spyglass out of that whole chest? Okay, hold on one sec. Thankfully, I carry one for just such an occasion. So down below here, we have these hood fans that are sucking up all of the heat from the lava, bringing it up these pipes, and then this machine uses that heat to power furnaces and smelters and things like that. And then when the heat from this pipe is used up, it moves on to the next one. And so on and so forth. And then when this ravine is completely tapped out, this machine kind of just like spider walks along somewhere else. That's the justification for it anyways. And I did, you might say, well, that's a lot of building that you didn't show any of us, but this was all done on streams. This was a big stream project that I did over the last few days, and a few details that I'm pretty happy with. So this chain system here is how the cart would actually be motorized and pulled back and forth. The rail up here just supports the cart, and yes, those are anvils held up by string. A very, very expensive rail going across the top there. And then the legs here, I don't know, are kind of just powered by magic is how I'm justifying it. And then these posts here are just kind of thrown in wherever this machine ends up. Chains are put in so that this trolley can go back and forth. Very happy with it. I came up with this whole concept myself. It's an original thing that I'm pretty happy with. So what I'm going to do now is change out this bridge because I'm not actually super happy with how it turned out. It was I just kind of needed like a plank for the workers to get back and forth. And by the workers, I mean me. But I think that we're going to make something a little bit nicer. Give me 1 second here. Okay, much better. Yeah, I wasn't happy with that other one. And these campfires make just great bridges. There is a resource pack that gets rid of the ash in them, and I kind of considered getting it, but maybe later. Let me know what you think. Do you want to see me use some more resource packs to change things visually like that, so that it is a more aesthetic thing for these videos, or do you want to keep things completely vanilla so that they'll look exactly the way that you could build them? So let me know in the comments what you think about that. Now let's go to sleep and we will jump into what this episode is actually about. Well, the base is coming along. We've got our watchtowers over there, our big, beautiful tree, a very cool steampunky foundry there. Ignore that. That's an ugly little moss farm. Another beautiful tower over here. Over here, as you saw probably in the lore video, our dragon skeleton of Shadowbringer. Who met an untimely fate here in the land of Derptopia, but he deserved it. He was kind of a jerk. So over here, I have planned out a tower build that is going to be... Whoa! Oh, goodness. Flying is a challenge. Let's Riptide. There we go. Over here, I've planned out kind of a tower that's going to be destroyed, so that is in the works. But ever since I started working on this cute little, I don't know, decorating, I guess? I don't want to call it... Or landscaping, that's the word for it. I have just had a hankering to do more of this because this is a lot of fun. So this tree area here is going to be kind of like a little nexus where paths will shoot off. So one's going to go over there to our XP area. One is going to go over here to our mine. This is where our mine entrance currently is, and I'm going to build an actual mine entrance here. And isn't this the little, most perfect little mine entrance? I didn't even shape it to be like that. It's just perfect. Now, most of this mine has actually been used for moss. I just bone meal the heck out of moss and harvest that. I haven't really needed to harvest anything besides that. So I am in a mood to kind of work more on our little village, and I think that we need more buildings. That's all there is to it, folks. And I don't really know how sprawling this village is going to end up. Ideally, in my mind, this whole area, everything, looks like it has life in it. In the trees here, maybe even around the skeleton here. There's going to be some more industrial stuff over here. I want this all to be filled in and looks like it's really been lived in. That's the goal. So I think maybe like right here almost would be a good spot for another building. You know, you've got the path or the road right here in front of you. And then if we just kind of branch off here, we've got another area for a house or something. So I downloaded some concept art from, whoa, what was the website? DeviantArt? I don't remember. I just Googled concept art, fantasy houses and steampunk houses, and I found some images that I thought were really cool. And yeah, I found some. Maybe I'll throw some up on screen here. And I want to do a couple of these, or at least try my best. And I also want, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do for a castle. I think that I do want to do a castle, though. And maybe right here is a good spot for it. I don't know if I want to do a big hill or anything like that. Like right here, I'm not sure. Traditionally, you'd want a castle up on a hill. That would be best. But this is a very small hill. And I don't want to use Turtle Mountain. So yeah, our options are kind of limited. But we've got this huge space here that would look great. We could have walls around it and maybe a moat, a dry moat. Which would look very cool. So castle perhaps to come. I do have big plans for other things in the sky as well. I want to utilize more of our sky space. We're on a floating island right now, and it feels a little bit odd that our only floating island is kind of hidden by this tree a little bit. I opted to not take the floating island out because I thought, hey, why would I? You know, the floating island popped up after the tree had grown, and the floating island doesn't care if the tree was there. It just went through. So you can see kind of details here. I left my spyglass somewhere. Right there, I kind of left some wood exposed to look like the leaves had been sheared off of it. Sheared is a good word. And there as well. And then this hole here is from the island, and the people that put this excavator here needed this footing to be here, so they just kind of shored it up a bit with this dunnage. So little details like that I'm very happy with. Still need to do all the landscaping around the area, of course, to make it look a little better, but she's coming along. So let's pick a house today, and let's just start building. Very similar to what I did with this house, I just kind of started building. So I think I am going to say this spot right here is where the house is going to be. Let's mark this out with this random white piece of wool. I don't know where that came from. And let's get busy. Oh, no. No. Stop that. No, I was just about to start talking. Okay, that'll go away. All right, so this is where I've decided to build the next house. And this is the image that I decided to work off of. Now, it's going to be probably a little bit smaller than that one there, just because that's a pretty grand house. But you can see the brick foundation that we're working with here, the very bottom of the house. And that one might be a little bit more rectangular, actually. I might want to extend this just one more. Now, because this is just a reference photo and not something I'm necessarily trying to emulate perfectly, it doesn't have to be exactly the same, but if we're trying to get off to a good start, we might as well just kind of follow along as closely as we can. So let's fix this up by extending these, and whoop, there we go. That's not right. There we go. Sometimes my pick block doesn't work properly, and I'm not sure why. Now we need to just add a row of sandstone there, and our stairs upside down here. Now I picked out jungle wood and sandstone to go with this build, but I'm not exactly sure if those are going to work perfectly. But they're things that I don't really work with enough. Sandstone a little bit more, but the jungle wood I almost never work with, and I think it's actually really, really nice. Like these doors here, they make great cottagecore doors, and I don't think enough people use them. So we're going to give it a shot. And I think that even just making this rectangular has already made it a little bit better. Square things in Minecraft are a little bit overdone. So now I'm going to work on trying to extend the second floor of this. And by second floor, I don't really know how to describe that, but I probably am going to make kind of the base of the second and third floors, and then we're going to build things going off of that afterwards. That'll probably be the easiest way to go about this. And I'm kind of just framing things in right now. I filled this front in, of course without the detailing, but basically we're just going to get the shape of it with the material that we want to use and make sure that we're happy with it first. I also have not thought of a roof. I don't know if I want to go all jungle wood with the roof. We'll decide that kind of when we get to that point. But let's start working on the second floor here and see if we can get this wacky house going. And not too long later, bam! This is what we're working with. Now, do keep in mind, this is just the frame of it, more or less. I just wanted to kind of get some shapes out there, and I gotta say, I'm loving it. It turned out perfectly illogical. It looks like an absolute mess, and I love that. That's what I want for this village. I want this place to be complete, come on, baby, nonsense. There we go. Flying on the server, if I haven't mentioned it before, is hard. So yeah, I was just getting this kind of roof framed in a little bit and trying to imagine where all the cool things are going to go. And the sandstone is, of course, going to be textured and torn apart and replaced with a bunch of other stuff. But it will be primarily sandstone for the walls, which I'm excited to work with. It's a great, great neutral color, and it goes really well with the bricks. As for the jungle wood, I like it. It's different. You don't usually see roofs made out of jungle wood, and I was debating making it kind of maybe a multicolored roof like I did with this one where there's some trim on it, but I don't know. I don't think that it needs it. When there's some detailing in here, trap doors and maybe something going across the top here, I think that it's going to look really good regardless of whether it's all one texture or not. There is the possibility of swapping out some of these lateral sections with stripped logs. In fact, we could probably just check to see how that looks right now. It's always a bit of a gamble when you're going with the stripped logs up against the planks, because a lot of the times they don't actually have the same color at all. So let's do that, and oh my goodness. Well, I don't mind that. Now the question would be, where does it start and where does it stop? So I just kind of have these lined out there. But let's see here. So just because of the way that the roof is made, it might not be totally possible, even though I like the colors here. But let's see. Okay, that's not bad. I actually kind of like that. I don't know if it works good here because it's like not really framed in properly, but I'm going to leave this here just to remind me to give that a shot when we're building the whole roof up. But for now, I think we're just about ready. The tower here is going to... I'll probably save that for last. I usually like to do towers last. I might start it a little bit higher up. It might be a little bit low down right now for how tall it is. I think that was kind of throwing it off for me. The bottom is looking a little symmetrical to me, but we might be able to put a gazebo or something in the back here. I just heard a pillager. Where are you? Oh, hello. Oh, you're Johnny. Oh, okay. Pleasure to meet you. I did not put you here, but it doesn't appear you can go anywhere, so I'm just going to leave you there. Have fun. Bye-bye. All right, let's get to work. And after a little bit of building, this is what we have come up with. We did this on a stream, just kind of filling out the walls and things like that, getting the rough shape in. Now, I went with the stripped, what's this called? Warped hypheny, I think is the name, if I got that right. Stripped warped stem. Oh, what's the hypheny? All right, well, never mind. Oh, that's when it connects on all sides. Anyways, I'm a dummy. That's what we're using as an accent color, though, and I really like it. We kind of went back and forth on a few different things. I was maybe going to use the planks, but these planks are a lot darker in contrast to the stripped stems, so we decided against it. However, I might use that in kind of the detailing of this. I'm going to need a little bit more of that because this is a shape of a house, but it is certainly not finished. This needs to be detailed on the outside, and the tower needs to be finished as well. And towers are kind of my thing. They're kind of fun. I love them. So I think maybe we'll just get that out of the way first, and then we'll start on the detailing of the house, which is, in my opinion, the hardest part of it. But this looks really good right beside our other house, which is very different in color palette. That's kind of what I wanted with this, was I just want a bunch of wacky different houses and buildings and things around here. Nothing uniform, nothing makes sense. That's what I want. Boing. And just like that, we are done. I have been detailing this bad boy for the last several hours. This has taken a very long time. Also, don't mind this. This is a weird lighting bug. There's a brick wall in there with the brick blocks, and yeah, it's a little bit darker than it's supposed to be. But as you can see, this thing has actually turned out pretty fun. Oh, hello, flower. Excuse me. I'm glad that we went with the accent color being the warped wood. I just really, really like that color, and I think that it goes well with the entire palette. Everything's very neutral, except you have the bricks on the bottom and then a complementary color with that warped wood just kind of sprinkled in around it. So let's take a little look around. I do need to put some flowers up in that planter up on the third floor? Second floor? I don't know. Over here, pretty simple stuff. I ended up having to swap out some of that jungle wood. It was just too much sandstone on this side. But the little neck of that kind of upper house thingy being blue, I really love that, or cyan, or whatever the color is. And then this side is nice and simple. I'll probably put a glass window in that hole. I haven't really thought about that yet. And quite frankly, I'm a little terrified to go in here because on the inside here, it is work. This is going to be a lot of work. Now, because this isn't my main house, I won't be doing the interior as detailed as that one. Just because that takes a very long time, and I'm probably not going to be in here very often. I do kind of want to get some villagers in here, though, just to have it be, useful in some way. So I'm thinking stonemasons. And there you have it. We are 100% done. There's my screenshot that always likes to pop up at the most inconvenient times. We even remembered to relight the fire that was bothering me so much. Another fun thing I wanted to show off is, it's kind of hard to see from that angle, fly up here. I gave it a tilted chimney, and I could probably put some granite in there just for a little bit of texture. But yeah, I gave it a little bit of a curve on this chimney just because whimsy. Uh-oh. All right, we're fine. So yeah, that was something that I decided to do kind of spur of the moment, and I was just really happy with how it turned out. Let's see if we can get a better angle of it. We can't. It's too far away. But things like that just add a little bit of nonsense to a build, and I am pretty down with the nonsense right now. There's a better angle of it. So you can see this has got just like the angles on it I think are my favorite part. This nice tall roof I also really like. Just big fan of this build overall. It took a long time. Don't get me wrong, it took a very long time. But it is totally worth it. A few more of these popping up, and then get a few smaller buildings in, and this is going to look like an actual village pretty soon. That's a good view right there. I also made sure to go and light it up pretty good, except the tower isn't lit up very good. I might have to hide a little bit of lighting in here. Oh, you know what we can do? One more thing here before we go. That's better. That actually looks really cool. Super happy with that. And it lights up our tower even better. So a few shroom lights in there behind those trapdoors worked perfectly. It kind of looks a little bit jack-o'-lantern-y, but that's okay. It's just, little details like that really help bring a build to life. And also now you can see the tower. Lovely. Okay, that is where we're going to end it. I need to, I guess, get working on the interior. Not that I really want to. Oh, no. Okay. All right. I'm done. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. My name is Fiasco, and I will catch you in the next one.